Hello, my wonderful people, viewers and subscribers. I beg you, this one is a new update. And I know say I turned myself to become the king of updates. So make gonna hear this one now. This one is the first open confession Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is making since his abduction from Kenya in June of 2021. So this open confession is going to shockatalize you, my brother. And I'm gonna say this guy is really passing through hellfire in the hands of stupid zoo DSS. Make gonna hear the first headline here. How DSS threatened forced me to make statements. Nnamdi Kanu confesses. Second one, no court approved my detention. IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu stands firm as court adjourns till May 29, which is today. It shock you, Abi? Let it not shock you. More headlines. Herdsmen attacks. Army seeks support to stop Benue killings. Ezagu Richia killing. Rep. Umeha calls for Ezani's prosecution. Native doctor killer. Shock lies in Enugu community as youths expose kidnapping and ritual activities. Anyway, my wonderful people, now here we go start this news. I don't say me, now the king of updates. So this update now, this one now one of his type. That's my own English. I don't manufacture them. So, in other words, if you get this message as you are watching it, make sure you are dropping your opinion at the comment section and make sure you subscribe. If this is your first time of hearing this voice, my brother, please follow me like your village people, the way they used to follow me like that. Subscribe and keep on following my page. I don't know what they do on ourselves. Anyway, let us go straight to the reason why we are here. The cross-examination of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu concluded yesterday after an intense courtroom session that lasted several hours. Nnamdi Kanu, who testified in his own defense, maintained that his detention by the DSS was not backed by any court order and insisted that his rights were grossly violated and trampled upon. No court approved my detention, he responded when asked by the prosecutor. Kanu further stated that at no point during his detention was he asked to provide the contact details of his lawyers, contradicting claims by the prosecution. Following his testimony, Justice James Omotosho adjourned the matter till today, which is Thursday, May 29th of 2025, at exactly 12 noon for continuation. The session will likely include further review of evidence from the trial within trial. Trial within trial. See English. Okay, moving forward. Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has told the Federal High Court in Abuja that he was threatened and coerced by operatives of the Department of State Service, DSS, into making confessional statements following his arrest in 2015. Kanu made the claims on Wednesday after the prosecution called his third witness, identified as a CCC, who testified that he was part of the DSS team that interrogated the separatist leader between October 21 and November 4th of 2015. The witness said all interview sessions were video recorded and that Kanu also wrote statements after each season. The Federal Government Counsel Adeboyoga Awomolo SAN submitted 2 video compact discs and 3 written statements allegedly authored by Kanu as evidence. Initially, the defense raised no objections. However, Paul Erokoro SAN, representing Kanu, later opposed the admissibility of the written statements, claiming they were made under duress and without access to legal counsel. The DSS denied the defendant access to his lawyer, threatened to deny him bail, and withheld his daily hour of fresh air recommended due to his health condition. Erokoro told the court Justice Omotosho ordered a trial within a trial to determine whether Kanu's statements were voluntarily made. Inside the trial, within trial is what we are into now. During the separate proceedings, DSS witness CCC maintained that Kanu gave the statement voluntarily under cross-examination. He admitted he had no direct contact with Kanu inside his detention cell, but knew the personnel who did. Erokoro pressured further, "I put it to you that if any DSS officer named Mr. Brown visited the defendant in his cell to threaten him, he won't know." CCC replied, "The DSS does not operate like that." Kanu, however, provided his own testimony. He stated that the coercion began in Lagos, where he was chained, blindfolded, and put on a plane without knowing his destination. On arrival in Abuja, he said he was held in solitary confinement without light. He accused a DSS officer identified as Mr. Brown, reportedly the Assistant Director of Investigations, of threatening him with death. Mr. Brown threatened me that if I don't do what they ask me, they are going to stop giving me that 1 hour break. Kanu said via his lawyer, referring to a daily 1 hour fresh air allowance recommended by the facility's medical doctor due to his nosebleeds and poor cell conditions. Prosecution cross-examines Kanu. During cross-examination by prosecution, Kanu alleged that the portions of the DSS video interviews played in court have been edited and that the DSS instructed him on what to write in the statement submitted as evidence. Following the testimonies, both prosecution and defense teams were directed by the judge to adapt their written addresses and submit them by 9 a.m. today, which is 29th of May 2025. Herdsmen attack. Military of Nigeria Zoological are asking for support to stop Benue killings. Ndara. The Nigerian Army has urged Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria to support its effort to halt herdsmen attacks in Benue. The Commander Joint Task Force Operation Whale Stroke, Major General Moses Gara, made a call on Wednesday in a meeting with Mnk'S leaders in Makurdi. Niger News report that Gara said the meeting was part of an effort to decisively address the persistent security challenges plaguing Benue State and its environs. A statement from the Assistant Director, Army Public Relations Officer Captain Abdullahi Lawal Osabo, stated that the closed-door meeting, which brought together critical stakeholders, including security agencies and local government authorities, focused on resolving long-standing issues such as farmer and herder conflicts, targeted and retaliatory killings, kidnapping and cattle rustling, factors that have significantly undermined peace and stability in the region. Major General Gara reaffirmed the commitment of OPWS to restoring law and order through inclusive dialogue and multi-stakeholder collaborations. He urged Mnk'S leaders to support the ongoing efforts by shunning acts of lawlessness, encouraging peaceful coexistence, and promptly reporting any threats to security. He further emphasized that sustainable peace is a prerequisite for agricultural revitalization and socio-economic development in Benue State. This meeting is a bold and necessary step toward isolating criminal elements, fostering mutual understanding, and promoting peaceful cohabitation among communities. Dialogue must be succeed confrontation if we are to achieve enduring stability, he said. Commander assured participants that grievances raised during the meetings will be escalated to the state government and relevant national authorities for redress. He also retreated OPWS zero tolerance for impunity, stressing the imperative of upholding the rule of law in the pursuit of justice. The initiative underscores a strategic shift towards proactive civil military engagement aimed at the escalating tensions dismantling networks of violence, and creating a conducive environment for peace buildings. All participants were charged to remain vigilant and committed to the resolution reached, while encouraging communities to report infractions through legal and recognized channels rather than resorting to extrajudicial actions. The outcome of this stakeholder meeting signals a new phase of partnership in confronting insecurity and rebuilding of trust, according to the military mumu. If fully implemented, the agreed framework will bolster security architecture, reinvigorate the local economy, and improve the overall well-being of the citizens of Benue State, a state that people who are living in IDPs are more than the people who are living in their house. Useless and failed country. Ezago killings. Umeha calls for Ezani's prosecution. House of Rep member of Ezago and Udi constituency, Sunday Umeha, has condemned ritual killing allegedly committed by Levi Obieze, also known as Ezani. Nigeria News reported that Ezani, a native doctor from Ezago, allegedly killed and stored abducted victims in an underground hole in his house. Wonders shall never end. Umeha described the ritual killings as disturbing and evil. He called on the Enugu State Police Command to ensure full investigations into the dastardly act of the killer native doctor to ascertain and possibly apprehend conspirators and collaborators who may be involved in the nefarious acts to bring them to justice. He condemned the serial gruesome murders, describing them as wicked, devilish, and diabolical threats which do not belong amongst the good people of Ezago local government area of Enugu State. My attention has been drawn this morning to the ugly development in a Umumba Ndiago community, Ezagua local government area of Enugu State, following the discovery of two decomposing bodies inside a soccer-way pitch of a so-called native doctor identified as Levi Obieze. Like many of our people and the general public, I am shocked to my marrow by this devilish, wicked, and callous act of criminality, which for some time has eluded all of us to the detriment of the victims of the early unprovoked criminality. In response to this issue, I have since called on the Enugu State Police Command of Nigerian Police Force to embark on a full-scale investigation into the crime in order to ascertain the identity of its collaborative and conspiratorial minds in order to bring them to justice. He said, if you laugh me for this mistake, I'll block you. Umeha also consoles families and friends of the yet to be identified victims of some of whose bodies are in a decomposing state, and prays for the repose of their souls, which must be crying out to the high heavens for justice. He further called for calm and urged members of the affected communities not to take laws into their hands by resorting to any form of jungle justice. The last but not the least, shock in Enugu community as youths exposed ritual killings and kidnappings. The quiet Umumba Ndiago community in Ezago local government area, Enugu State, was thrown into turmoil on Tuesday when local youths accused of a prominent community member identified as Ichie Millions, also known as Ezani, of using his vast compound for criminal activities, including kidnappings and ritual killings. Nigeria News report that Ezani, who had presented himself as a businessman, was said to be a native doctor with a dark secret. According to the allegations, Ezani, the self-proclaimed businessman, was using his compound as a site for abductions. It was claimed that the native doctor had buried victims alive, including pregnant women and children, in sockaway pits for ritualistic purposes. When the youth launched a search for the truth, they were stunned by what they found in Ezani's compound. The discovery of bodies buried in sockaway pits shocked the community to its core. A viral video circulating on social media showed the enraged youths ransacking Ezani's compound, including what appeared to be his shrine. The situation escalated as the community uncovered the horrifying details of his crimes. One of the young victims who narrowly escaped Ezani's clutches shared her chilling experience in a viral video. She recounted, "My father and I went to fetch firewood, which we would use to fry our garri. His men came and asked my dad for his cutlass, which he gave them. Suddenly, they grabbed me and kept me in a pit they had dug. I started crying, and thankfully, the neighborhood watch operatives heard my cries and come to my rescue." In another shocking video, a member of the community is heard describing the discovery, saying, "We have caught the killers. They kill people. People's dead bodies are inside here. They have killed a lot of people. We just rescued a 13-year-old girl or child who they wanted to use for rituals." The video further showed that the youths had apprehended a suspect who claimed to be a security guard hired by Ezani to protect his compound. This man, identified in the video, was stripped naked, tied up, and left in the compound by the furious youths. While the man denied involvement in the killings, he admitted to frequenting Ezani's residence for ritualistic activities. The suspects, who identified Ezani as Daddy Ezani, explained during his interrogation by the angry youths, "I am a business person and I came here after I finished performing some sacrifices. It remained for a water sacrifice to be performed for me. I was waiting for everything to be done for me. There are things to be done, but I don't know what he used to do things. But what they do here is that, as a newcomer, they normally send the person on an errand. The owner of this place, Daddy Ezani, asked me to protect his place and scare anyone coming here away." At the time of this discovery, Ezani was reportedly on the run, with his whereabouts unknown. However, several of his wives were reportedly caught by the youths, and his house and vehicles were set on fire as part of the community retaliations. Police launched manhunt for fleeing native doctor. Meanwhile, the police commissioner, Bitrus Giwa, is said to have ordered for a manhunt for the fleeing native doctor. In a statement by the command spokesperson, SP Daniel Ndukwe, the police said, "Police operatives of the Enugu State Command attached to the Umumba Division in the early hours of May 27, 2025 at about 3:15 a.m. in collaboration with the Neighborhood Watch personnel and vigilante community members, successfully rescued a 13-year-old girl named withheld, allegedly kidnapped for ritual murder at Umojo village in Ishiago community, Ezago local government area of Enugu State. During the rescue, two decomposing bodies, one male and one female, were discovered buried in a concrete sealed pit within an uncompleted buildings owned and used as a shrine and heinous criminal activities by the fleeing prime suspect. Investigations revealed that the deceased victims were currently murdered and buried in the pit by the suspect for ritual purposes, and the rescued child was moments away from suffering the same fate before the timely intervention. In line with its laws, the Enugu State government has demolished the buildings owned by the fleeing prime suspect and used for the criminal enterprise. The Commissioner of Police, CP Maman Bitrus Giwa, who promptly visited the crime scene, has commended the efforts of the police operatives, local security guards, and community members whose collaborative ensured the success of the operation. He also directed the Command Tactical Squad as well as investigation and intelligence units to intensify efforts in tracking down the fleeing suspect and other accomplices still at large, with a firm resolve to ensure justice is served. So, my good people, this message, I don't even know what to say, but I want you to just do the judgment by yourself at the comment section. Like, share, comment, keep subscribing for more interesting videos. Okay, Messiano, my people.